Good night. Here, I want to tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma J. It's our Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you a word on tonight. Now, we're going to talk about Joe. We always talking about Joe. Joe's story. Now, Joe was a righteous, wealthy man. Upright character now who loved God. But yet God allowed Satan to destroy his possession. His children, and his health. Now, we will see that Job will refuse to give up God, even though he does not understand. When we go to our trials, a lot of times we don't understand why we're going through it. We taking hit after hit, and we don't understand, but we know one thing. It's a reason, God will allow you to go through your trials. Cause Paul said we have to go through our trials. God ain't gonna allow us to go around it. We got to hit it. We got to deal with it. So though he does not understand, but why this is happening to him, but Job will show us how he trusts God. Now he gonna show us how he trusts God. That just like me. All the stuff that I'm going through, all the stuff that I go through. I might mumble a little bit, but I still trust God and believe. You're supposed to fully trust Him completely. You know, but I trust Him enough to keep going. Now, Job trusts God completely. God in the mix of his difficult time that he had to face. So that what you call a righteous man. You know, all that stuff he went through, hit after hit, he still was praising God. He still didn't curse God. And so we're gonna look at in the land of Zion, there will live a man whose name was Job. Now this man was blameless and upright, and he feared God and not evil. But Job was a real person. He was a real person. Joe and his family lived a normal life, and regular to custom on the day. So when I saw the movie, it was a pretty day. Him and his brothers just talking. Then all of a sudden, Satan stepped in. And that's why I had put in one of my packages the other day. Everything will be going fine. Then here comes Satan. Satan was disrupt anything because Satan don't like for things to be. He don't like for you to be happy. He don't like for things to be going okay. So one day the angels had came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. So the angel come to talk to God. What they normally used to do on earth. But then Satan following behind them. So God and his angels plan their activity on earth, and where angels meet and also Satan follow. So the Lord has said to Satan, where have you come from? Now Satan answered the Lord from roaming throughout the earth, going backwards and forward, and see God. So God looking at my angel, okay, this my angel. Okay, so why? Satan, why are you here? Where you come from? God asked him, where you come from? I was roaming around backwards and forward. God, you know what I was doing, going backwards and forward. And so he always looking for one of God's righteous person to mess with. Always looking for God's righteous person to mess with. Now, see, he know when God got a shield over someone, because Satan activity look for people to attack with temptation. He liked the temptation, just like he did Eve. The fruit look good. Why he don't want you to eat that fruit? He don't want you to be smarter than him. He would look for temptation like that rock. Jesus was so hungry when he was fasting. Turn that rock into food. He'll fall on your vulnerable self, and then he'll try to seduce you. That's how Satan operates. Now he wants to make sure people hate God. Now he look to see who he can deceive. And see, that's what he do. Satan don't run around this world and look for the ones who done wrong already. No, he gonna look for the ones that's righteous to God. That who gonna be praying in the morning, gonna be praying at night, reading that Bible, praising God. That's the ones because he hate God and he want people to hate him too. And so Satan replied, have you not a hedge over him in his household, and everything he has you bless him, the work of his hands, and so that his flocks and herds and spread throughout the land. Now see, he want Joe, and see, God gave him an idea. God ain't got nothing to hide. My Joe ain't gonna curse me out. He one of my righteous person. But also remember, Satan knew he got a hedge around Joe. God ain't say I have that around here. So he already know. You got a hedge around here. Once you take that off so I can start attacking him. Because I bet you in the money he will curse you. So Satan wants, and see, Satan don't fight fair. Joe gonna be looking so horrible. Nobody ain't gonna recognize him. The hedge around Joe and his family, and Satan wanted to be removed. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. This was Satan talking about. Take the hash off. Because I bet you in the money, he gonna curse you. He said Joe gonna curse him to his face. Satan had wanted Joe, to come against God. Joe worshiped God and not out of love, but because God had given him so much. And see, that's what it is. Joe is a wealthy man. He had a family. He have a family. And then he also loved God. See, he have all this good quality that's going on. And so Satan don't like that. Satan don't like when you have a family, everybody getting along, you chilling out with your brother. Satan don't like that. He don't like, no family. He like family be falling apart, in confusion. That's what Satan likes. And so Satan's job is to come against God. Job worshiped God and not out of love. But because of God had given him so much, the Lord has said to Satan, very well. Satan had, he asked you to take that shell off. Let me do this and let me do that. And so God said, very well. Then everything he had is in your power. And so God knows that's my righteous person. I've been tested trials so many times too. And I passed a lot of tests. But God know what you can do. He allowed Satan to go ahead on and test you. I bet you the money. You do this and you do this to Irma, she gonna throw in the towel. I ain't throwing in the towel yet. But God knew I wasn't gonna quit. He knew no matter what they come at me with, I still was gonna move forward. No matter what the devil bring to Joe, I know Joe is my righteous man. He's not gonna curse me. See, God know each and every one of his prophets. He know each and every one. He know what you're capable of doing. God know your weak spot. He know your strong spot. So when Satan come at one of your strong spots, he know it's not gonna happen. Now if he come at your weak spot, that's what you have. Then he's not gonna go so hard. So everything God put him in Satan's hands. So it's in your power. But on the man himself, do not lay a finger on my Job. Now see, God said very well, you do what you got to do. You take away this, and at the same time, God building up his faith. But one thing he told Job, no matter what you do, don't put a finger on Job. Because see, God will watch and see what Satan gonna do to you. When he gives Satan approval, he gonna watch and see that he do not do what God has struck him to do. So then Satan had went out from the presence of the Lord. Now Satan can bring Satan. Now see, the reason why God told him that, because see, Satan can bring suffering. Satan can bring pain and difficulty. That's why God said don't lay a finger on him, because God know what Satan can do. And so Satan has started attacking Job's family. The sons and the daughter. Fire burned down on the sheep and the flocks. Now Job lost everything. Job lost everything. And he don't understand. He don't understand, but he know he prayed to God. And he don't understand. He was too scared to even question God, or what's going on. So at this time, Job got up and tore his robe off, and shaved his head, and then fell to the ground and worship. Now, instead of him, he didn't go to his room and to the wall and just cry. No, he got dropped down on his knees and he started worship. Start praying to God. What love? What's going on? It was just a regular normal day, and then all of a sudden, my daughter and my son. Next thing you know, my flocks and get all burnt up. God, I don't understand what's going on. We don't never understand. But the first thing, his friends gonna be like, what you did. That's the first thing people ask you. What you did? See, God don't like ugly. What you did? And so at this time, Job got up and tore his robe. You got down on the ground and he started worshiping God. Now Satan had failed. Now he took all Job's friends away. I mean his children away, his animals and flocks away. So Satan had failed. He failed his test. Instead of cursing God, Job worshiped. He bowed down to the ground and he started worshiping God. And he lost his family. He lost his wealth. He lost everything. But he maintained his righteousness. He lost everything. Lost everything. And see, that was the time that Satan thought Job was going to curse God. He thought Job was going to curse God. Because you see, Satan gonna hang around. You remember he hanging in them bushes watching Eve. He made her the eighth apple. He wanted to see what God gonna do to her. See, when Satan have you to do wrong, or Satan did you wrong, Satan gonna watch in a gap. I want to watch this it. I took everything from him. I want to see him crying. I want to see him screaming and hollering. I want to see him weak. I took everything. And what he do? He get down on his knees and start praying. And see, that's not what Satan wanted to see. He didn't want to see Job praying. He didn't want to see that Job worshiping God. Because he said Job was going to curse God. I took everything from him and he still worshiping God. See, Satan want us to hate God. He not gonna hate God because God said that's his righteous man. And God already told him, I know Job is not gonna curse you. And so Job said, I said, naked I came from my mother womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord give, and the Lord hath taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. Now he's still praising God. He's still praising God. But he just lost everything. He said, God give and God take. I came naked and I'm leaving naked. Job is still have positive words to say about God. Even though he done lost everything. His money, wealth, flocks, everything. And he still have good things to say about God. Job, Satan had a loss. And that's how it be. Satan hate to see that they done lost. Because when you're a righteous person, you're going to keep on driving. And you ain't going to stop. And so the Satan going to keep on trying. The darkness going to keep on trying and trying. And all I do, every time I look around, I can stop what I'm doing. If I need a prayer, if Satan attacking me at the moment, I'm stopping just like Joe did. And I always go and pray. So in all this, Job did not sin. Because see, when you in your trials, you had to still maintain. Job was still maintained. He didn't sin. And he still don't even know why he went through this here. He didn't understand, by changing God with wrongdoing. And so now Satan had took everything that Job owned. Took his children, his flocks, his riches. But guess what? He didn't take his wife. Because see, Satan always got to keep somebody around to do his dirty work. He kept his wife around so she could ask a stupid, foolish question to Job. Satan gonna always keep somebody around to do his dirty work. That's why he ain't gonna take everybody out. So his wife has said to him, are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die. Not only did she say curse God, but she told Job, her husband, you just died. And see, that's why Satan gonna hold somebody around, to do his dirty work. He ain't gonna let everybody go at one time. Took everybody out, but left her behind to say something foolish. And so, for the same reason, Satan would kill his whole family, but save his wife, but I guess he had to keep somebody to do his dirty work, because she had just said a foolish thing. And now Job replied, now you are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? And all this, Job did not sin in what he said. Job is not mad with God. Any other, he told his wife, you foolish. You get behind me. Get behind me, woman. You is foolish. And so she questioned God's goodness. And when Job 3 friends, they heard about it, so they came, his brothers and them still alive. But guess what? When you're going through your trials, ain't nobody gonna show up, ain't nobody gonna knock on the door, ain't nobody's gonna call. Now the brothers is still alive, but ain't nobody trying to come by Job. They're gonna come when everything is said and done. When it's dinner time. Celebration time. And so when Job's 3 friends came, Job was unrecognized. Because he done went through so much. And remember, Satan did hit his side when he was supposed to. God was right there. And so he wasn't taking care of himself. He wasn't taking care of himself. He wasn't shaving. He wasn't taking a bath. He wasn't doing none of that until his friends come and they could not recognize Joe. So at least I'm going through the trials. I still trying to keep up my appearance. You got to keep up with your parents. You don't want nobody to come and they look like you going through the stone. You don't want to look like the stone. Joe was looking like his stone. Well, nobody couldn't recognize him. So stay away for a while. They came to comfort him. But why they couldn't recognize Joe? They saw that Joe was in so much pain. They had to send back for a little while. I mean, they sit there for days. They sit there for days. So they stay away for a while because, they couldn't recognize Joe. And when they start talking, blaming this on Joe, if he did something, blaming God, but Joe did not do anything. But then he had to explain himself to his friends. The friends kept on saying, what you did? You had to do something, And so Joe lost everything. Joe's friends came to comfort him. But they didn't know how to comfort him when they saw him in so much pain and then they couldn't recognize him. So they couldn't recognize Joe and ask what he did. They kept on asking, what you did? What you did? What you made God mad? What you did? So Satan had hold on to his wife, asking Joe crazy question. So God is mad with Joe's friends because they kept talking about God. And see, I told you, you got where your God at now? You always praying. Where your God at now? You done lost everything. And see, God heard. God hear everything they saying. Not only he talking about God, but he's talking about Joe. What you did. And so long as Joe going through his trials, his brothers and friends, they start coming over. Stop coming over. And was nowhere to be found. And that's something. When you go through your trials, ain't nobody come, nobody's not going to come see you. Nobody's not going to call you. Joe's friends did not call. They had phone then, but did not, come around, did not show up at all. So God told Joe to pray for his friends because they were blaspheming Joe, talking about God, talking about Joe. So God was mad, but God told Joe, pray for your friends. Because your friends don't know no better. Because Joe is a righteous man, his friends not. So that's why God, a lot of time, God said, a lot of time you have to be with your own kind, on your own righteous. You're supposed to draw everybody to you, and bring them closer to God. I guess Joe didn't do that. But Joe didn't do that. His friends didn't know God. And so God said, pray for them. They do not understand. The Lord had blessed the latter day parts of Joe's life more than his former part. He had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of ox, and 1,000 donkeys. So he got restored back and more than what he had before. God restored Joe's life back and more. He still got his same wife. The wife was, she been hailing on. He got more children back. He got more flocks back. All the trouble that Joe went through, that pain and that suffering, not understanding of what's going on and why it's going on. But he still hold on. He still was praising, dropping down to his knees, praying to God. When we don't understand, when we don't understand, we have to still pray to God. Still pray to God. Remember Ezekiel, you're going to die. There's no cure. But who said prayers? Prayers can move mountains. Prayers can recover. He dropped down to the wall, floor. He looked to the wall and he started praying to God. He started praying to God. And God said, come back here. I'm adding some 15 more years to your life. And now that's something. When his cure, he ain't have no cure for his situation. But then God come there and put a supernatural power on him. Say, I give you 15 more years of your life. And so he started praying. Job was praying every day. He was praying every day, And then he was too scared to ask God questions of what's going on. But Job lived 140 years old. He was blessed. It's a blessing to live a long time, because God allowed him to restore his life back. So God allowed him to live a long and prosperous life. Since in that period of time, he had lost everything. The pain and the suffering. So God made up for that pain and that suffering. And allow him to enjoy his life, enjoy his new family, enjoy everything that was taken from you by Satan. And just remember, I sit back, I watch, because I was testing your faith. See, God will test your faith. See, Satan make up the trial. God, he make up the trial. God don't do the trial, but God has allowed it to happen. To see, if you're gonna still praise me. See if you're gonna still be connected with me. Are you gonna curse me? I'm testing your faith. And Job had passed the test. Satan had failed. Job had not passed the test. So that's all I have for you today. Job has showed us being faithful to God. That no matter what you don't understand, and I'm talking to myself, no matter what you don't understand, to always still be connected with God. Still pray, still praise Him. In due time, He probably will let you know why you have to go through. I still got to wait. I'm still waiting on my clarity. At the end of your storm, sometimes it'll give you clarity. And why you have to wait, or why you have to go through it. So that's all I have for you today. But the only mistake that Job made, he didn't take care of himself, so he was unrecognized. So I'm telling anyone that's in a storm, that in the storm is like it's taking over you. Trust me, still keep up with your parents. Don't be unrecognized. Like Joe was. Joe didn't shave. He wasn't taking a bath. The wife was cleaning his wound because Satan had did hit him one time on the side. But Joe was still hanging on. Still hanging on and praying and praising God. So that's all I have for you today. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see you on the next video.